Good morning, students, and welcome to another informative English class. Today, we are back with you with another important lesson, or I would say poem. Today, we'll be doing My Mother at 66. I know you've done it before, but today we are going to look at it from a fresh perspective and see how much do you remember. So, are you ready? Before I begin, let's have a look at the guidelines. And the guidelines are refresh your screen if you are not able to see or hear properly. Watch the class in full screen. You know, students, that there is a square at the bottom right corner of the video, but I'm sure you know it better than me. Our students are highly educated when it comes to technology. And finally, use the chat only for asking doubts. Students, chat is not for making friends here. We have opened up the chat for you so that you can ask your questions, connect with us, and something about how you can keep yourself healthy and safe during these COVID times. So students, wear a mask always, follow physical distancing, and maintain hand hygiene. It's very important. So students, if we follow these three simple rules, we can save ourselves and save everyone and say goodbye to this, deadly pandemic. And before we begin, I would also like to acknowledge the holder of rights. We have used some YouTube videos, but they have only been used for educational and learning purposes. Today, you are with me, your teacher, your facilitator, Rajni Gemini, and Anjali ma'am, Anjali Chauhan. Dear Anjali, say hi to the students.
Good morning, dear students, and welcome to all the teachers who are here for our class. I'm assuring you that you're going to enjoy the class through and through, so stay glued to the screen.
Thank you, Anjali. And here is our team, which you have, I think, come to know already. We have our team leader, Nandini Sarangal ma'am. And on YouTube with you, we have Siva ma'am, Sonia ma'am, Manish sir, and Vandana ma'am. So they will be answering your doubts and be with you on YouTube all the time. So students, in your textbook Flamingo, as you can see, this is your poem and we'll be doing it today. But before that, I want you to put on your thinking caps. So are you ready? Are you ready to answer some serious questions? So what do you see in the picture? What images, words come to your mind when I say the word mother? So Anjali ma'am, what do you see? What words? Students, type in the chat box. I want to see the chat box running. We are talking about your mother. So what words or images come to your mind?
Well, if we connect to this picture, there are so many things which we can see. There's food, there is home, there is the greenery. So, जब मम्मा का नाम लेते हैं तो happiness, the comfort comes to our mind. वो yummy food याद आता है और थोड़ी थोड़ी डांट भी याद आती है जब हम गलती करते हैं तो मम्मी डांटती भी है. So yes, and happiness, बहुत सारी फेस्टिवल जो हम मम्मी की वजह से इतने अच्छे से बना पाते हैं. Yes, these are the things that come to my mind.
Thank you, Anjali. Nandini ma'am is also there with us. Nandini ma'am, what are the words or images that come to your mind when we say the word mother? I know mother is special for everyone.
Yeah, exactly, Rajni. And as soon as the word comes to my mind, I feel that unconditional love, the comfort, the solace, like the picture you are showing to our students. The picture is so, it's full of peace, calm, and that is the image of a mother, which is created in my mind when I hear this word. So this is really a beautiful picture that portrays all those good qualities of a mother.
Thank you, Nandini ma'am. And our children, I'm sure, are also typing. And I had shared this question with some students before, and these were some of the words that they offered. So They said that, mother is everything about caring, and she's reliable, and she offers solace. No matter what trouble you are in, no matter what age you are in, if you are able to share it with your mother, she has a cure for every problem, from normal sickness to the most difficult of problems. And she always supports you. What Nandini ma'am just talked about, the unconditional love. उनके प्यार में conditions नहीं होती कि ऐसा होगा तो ही हम प्यार करेंगे. So uh, always supports, and she's there by your side to offer comfort, and she sacrifices her her own comfort to bring solace to you. And Anjali ma'am seems very excited. I think our students are typing away in the chat box. Anjali ma'am, what are they saying?
Most of them are saying kind, loving, caring, unconditional love. But one of the students wrote, "The lady with the dialogue, आग लगा दूंगी तेरे फोन को." So yes, this is also part that yes, mothers always think about us, what is right for us, they encourage, and what is wrong for us. They do everything to discourage us from that particular act or yeah. So yes, this thing.
Thank you, Anjali ma'am. So children are always a first priority for the mother, and they are. She is a source of constant happiness, and she always appreciates what we do. चाहे हम कितनी छोटी से छोटी भी अचीवमेंट करके आते हैं, और अगर हम मम्मी को जाके बताते हैं, and she is the one who's so proud of us. She's our first teacher, our best friend, our mentor. So all that is there, and I'm sure you are all able to connect with it. But I'm going to share another picture with you. What words come to your mind now? She's also a mother. So students, I want you to put on your thinking caps. Mother is strong, but there would come a time when she would not be that strong anymore. She is going to age, because aging is inevitable. And what happens when she's old and vulnerable? Now, these are, real pictures, real headlines from our newspapers. What happens to her when she becomes old? Who takes care of her? What words and images come to your mind when I show you these pictures? Nandini ma'am, what do you think?
Rajni ma'am, these pictures are quite disturbing actually, and I feel there's a kind of pain. I feel pain by seeing such pictures. So in these pictures, these elderly people, they seem quite helpless. Although it shouldn't be. The scenario shouldn't be like this, but it seems.
Yes, thank you, Nandini ma'am. Anjali ma'am, do you have something to say about these pics?
Hey ma'am, students have already started writing. They're writing that she becomes old, she becomes helpless at a point of time. So yes, they are referring to those emotions that these people feel when they become old.
Okay, thank you, students. I want you to realize and think from that space in the heart, because that is your mother. And I'm going to share as well a little poem with you before I share the words. So let's listen to the poem and see.
To the old lady next door. Lonely, lonely time drags by. I talk to the wall. I heave a sigh. Lonely, lonely, no one there. Plenty to do, yet I sit and stare. Lonely, lonely, I'll put the kettle on. I'll make a cup of tea. The radio sings a song. Lonely, lonely, I hate being old. My children all married, doing well, I'm told. Lonely, lonely, I'll think of the past, or stand at the door to watch people pass. Lonely, lonely, sleep, sleep away. Then I'll not have to wake to face another day.
So students, like I said, that I shared it with some of my students, and these were some of the words that they shared. These were some of the issues that their elderly parents or grandparents face. So what do you think? Anjali ma'am, what are our children saying?
Ma'am, they are connecting to the story that this old lady just recited. They're saying sad story, and yes, they are writing that these elderly people need affection and love. And some of the students are even recognizing कि उनके बच्चे उन्हें छोड़ के चले जाते हैं, and that's why they become so helpless, so hopeless.
So students, that's what happens, you know, they have cared for you all their lives, and in their old age they require the same love and care, because now they are weak, now they need affection, and because they are unable to take care of themselves. You know, nowadays we are doing everything with the help of technology, but you know, what about the old people? They struggle with the gadgets. You know, we want them to put it on, but you know, they are unable to. So as children, you can help them, and you know, this is what we have to be sensitive about when we deal with them. And so my question to Nandini ma'am is, Nandini ma'am, what do you think are the reasons for their loneliness?
Quite often, children go abroad. They have to travel for their job prospects. They go abroad for better job options, and obviously, parents are left alone. And I've heard this is a kind of empty nest syndrome kind of thing, because the children, they leave their country or their state for better job options, so they leave their nest. So parents, obviously, they feel lonely.
Thank you, Nandini ma'am. So empty nest, but you know, for a bird, it's all right. But a human child requires so much time to grow up, and the parents take care. So the human elderly also requires time to you know, needs care, and that is what I think it's the children who should be sensitive about, that this is their time to give back what they have received. And like Nandini ma'am said, that you know, the children go away, so sometimes for job, and as you can see in the third picture, for girls it's another issue also, that they get married and they have to choose between the family of the in-laws and parents family. I mean, generally it has been considered a taboo that you know, sometimes the girl, even if she wants to, she's unable to take care of her own parents because she has to stay with the in-laws, or you know, with the new family. Although I'm sure things are changing, and I hope they change. So but that's the scenario as of now. So Anjali ma'am, why don't you think, why don't the children come back? Is it because that they don't want it, or they can't?
Exactly, ma'am. It's not like कि बच्चे जाना नहीं चाहते हैं, but sometimes they are stuck. ऐसा बहुत बार होता है कि कुछ जॉब की वजह से या कुछ अपनी फैमिली इश्यूज की वजह से या बहुत सारी कंडीशंस ऐसी होती हैं कि वो आ नहीं पाते. इट्स नॉट लाइक दे डू नॉट वांट टू कम, और जब वो नहीं आ पाते, एज द लास्ट क्वेश्चन, हाउ डू द चिल्ड्रन फील, उसमें मतलब बच्चों को भी बुरा लगता है कि उनकी मम्मी की तबीयत खराब है, पापा की तबीयत खराब है, एंड स्टिल दे कैन नॉट गो टू देम, दे कैन नॉट टेक केयर ऑफ देम. Yes, there are many duties that they have to abide by, and still they feel it. वो बुरा लगता है मन में. It's just that they paste a smile on their face, and then they assure their parents कि नहीं, everything is all right and everything will be all right. So yes, this is the scenario. It's not like कि बच्चे नहीं आना चाहते हैं. They feel for their parents, but वो नहीं आ पाते हैं शायद. बहुत सारे cases में ऐसा भी है.
Right. So thank you, Anjali ma'am. And one of the reasons I think is because of the changing, you know, family system. So, Nandini ma'am, what do you think about that? That our family systems are now changing from nuclear family, from joint family, we are moving to actually nuclear family. So, what?
Definitely, nuclear family and joint family, they have their pros and cons. We have many plus points in nuclear family and plus points in joint family as well. But still, as I said earlier, because of the priorities of job prospects, things are changing. Things are changing fast, and people have to be, or nuclear families are the trend of nuclear families is going fast. So, but still, we have many positive and negative points associated with both.
Yeah, thank you, Nandini ma'am and Anjali ma'am. So, what do you think are the positives and the negatives of joint family and nuclear family?
मैम जॉइंट फैमिली में एक बहुत अच्छी बात ये होती है जो मुझे पर्सनली लगता है कि मजा बहुत आता है राइट व्हेन ऑल ऑफ अस आर टुगेदर एक छोटी सी खुशी भी बहुत बड़ी बन जाती है एंड ऑफ कोर्स कि जब कोई प्रॉब्लम में है और जैसे कोई एक बच्चा नहीं आ पा रहा है टेक केयर करने के लिए तो कोई और होता है जो टेक केयर कर लेता है सो सिमिलरली वी कैन शेयर आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज शेयरिंग एंड केयरिंग दिस इज व्हाट जॉइंट फैमिली इज ऑल अबाउट एंड न्यूक्लियर फैमिली में यस वो एक सेल्फ बिफोर एवरीथिंग वाली फीलिंग आ रही है एंड ऐसे नहीं है कि वो बुरी होती है बट वो अपना आजकल का सिनेरियो आजकल की कंडीशंस ऐसी बनती जा रही हैं कि न्यूक्लियर फैमिलीज बनानी पड़ रही हैं लोग जॉब के लिए और बहुत सारी चीज़ों के लिए वो अपना घर छोड़ के शहरों में आते हैं रहते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ विच वो अपने एल्डर्स का ध्यान नहीं दे पाते हैं सो यस एवरीथिंग हैज प्रोज एंड कॉन्स और यस जॉइंट फैमिली में थोड़े से कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स भी हो जाते हैं जो कि न्यूक्लियर फैमिली में नहीं होते हैं
सो थैंक यू अंजलि एंड जैसा आपने कहा कि जॉइंट फैमिली में मज़ा बहुत आता है आई एम श्योर यू हैव मेमोरीज एज अ चाइल्ड और जॉइंट फैमिली का सबसे बड़ा प्लस पॉइंट यही है दैट यू नो द चिल्ड्रन एज वेल एज द एल्डरली यू नो दे गेट लॉट्स ऑफ लव एंड केयर आप न्यूक्लियर फैमिली में देखेंगे बच्चों की देखभाल करने के लिए यू नो एक पेरेंट काम कर रहा है दूसरा और भी काम कर रहा है सो बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है समटाइम्स यू हैव टू लीव देम इन क्रच स्कूल आप उनको जल्दी भेजना शुरू करते हैं व्हाइल इन अ जॉइंट फैमिली ओके यू हैव कभी आज चाची के पास दादी के पास इस रूम में उस रूम में देयर इज लॉट ऑफ फन गोइंग ऑन एंड दैट इज समथिंग दैट यू डोंट हैव इन न्यूक्लियर फैमिली बट बच्चे की तो देखभाल फिर भी की जा रही है न्यूक्लियर फैमिली में who suffers the most in who suffers the most in the joint families in the nuclear family system so Anjali ma'am kya lagta hai किस who suffers the most
वेल मैम द वन हुज द डिपेंडेंट वो ज़्यादा सफ़र करता है बट वही है कि क्योंकि जब अपने बच्चे हो जाते हैं तो अपने बच्चे के लिए हम लोग अरेंजमेंट्स कर देते हैं बट एल्डरली के लिए शायद करना भूल जाते हैं या उनको ये सोचते हैं कि क्योंकि वो हमेशा से अपने लिए करते हैं तो अब भी कर लेंगे सो इसीलिए क्या होता है कि जो एल्डरली होते हैं वो सबसे ज़्यादा सफ़र करते हैं एक न्यूक्लियर फैमिली सिस्टम में
राइट सो आई एम श्योर हमारे बच्चे जो है इस सिनेरियो के साथ एम्पथाइज कर पाएंगे एंड दे वुड रियलाइज so today we are going to read a poem by Kamla Das on the same topic and Kamla Das has been you know one of the leading foremost poets of India and she was born in Kerala and her pen name is Madhavi Kutti and is a known iconoclast because she actually challenges you know lot of beliefs you know that people have and she has been awarded you know lots of prizes but we have written only two that you know Sahitya Academy Award which is the biggest literary prize in India that one she got and Pan Asian Poetry Prize so very noted poet that we would like to share with you and her poetry has a very strong autobiographical or confessional element means वो दूर दराज की बातें नहीं करती है I mean all that she talks about are scenarios from her own life and from our life you know because पोएट की लाइफ भी जो है अपने सोशल कॉन्टेक्स्ट में ही होती है बिकॉज वी बिलोंग टू द सेम सोशल कॉन्टेक्स्ट हम उन सारे के सारे सिनेरियो से आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं बिकॉज हमारे साथ भी वही सब होता है एंड she has that you know typical flavor of the Indian soil आप ऐसा नहीं है कि इंग्लिश पोएट है तो वो बाहर की बात कर रही है वो बिल्कुल इंडिया की ही बात कर रही है तो आप देख सकते हैं एंड शी हैज दिस although she is writing poetry लेकिन उनकी पोएट्री भी स्टोरी टेलिंग की तरह है I've noted a few lines a blue frocked woman caused throwing words at me like pots and pans यानी रसोई में जैसे आपकी तरफ कोई स्पेशल राइमिंग स्कीम नहीं यूज करती हैं वो सीधा का सीधा फ्री वर्ड्स में लिखती हैं and she uses lots of metaphors and imagery metaphors comparing things with other things. And imagery, yes, all around me are words and words. They grow on me like leaves. Yani words ko leaves se compare kar raha. So these images make her poetry more evocative. I have a few more sentences from her poems also. And, you know, she believes in the power of language. The language I speak becomes mine. Its distortions, its queerness, all mine, mine alone. So students, notice how she uses repetition to draw your attention towards certain words and phrases. And today we are dealing with my mother at 66. But before I begin, I want you to again, have a look at some words. Even the words, they symbolize things. They mean something. We have categorized the words as young and old. So students, are you ready to start with the typing? Green. Our first word is green. What do you think? Green is associated with the young or with the old? What is green for? Anjali ma'am, what do you think? What are the children saying?
Another student wrote green is for tree. But yes, of course, green is for young, and many of them have started already writing green, and gray ka bhi answer aa gaya, ma'am.
Oh, wow, they are fast. So green is for young. And what about gray? Nandini ma'am, gray, what is gray for?
Obviously, it is for old, and students are also writing old.
Right. So the gray is from the gray of the hair, I guess. आजकल तो हम लोग बाल कलर करके सारे के सारे यंग बन के घूमते हैं, but honestly, when you become older, yes, your hair turns gray, and that's how the word gray has come to be associated with the older people. Ashen. What do you think? Ashen color is for which? Young or old? Like ash. थोड़ा ग्रे का ही सिमिलर रहा. Nandini ma'am?
Gray and white.
Yes, students are writing. Priya has written ashen is for old. Priya is
Okay.
writing, and there are many others who are writing about ashen, and they Sahin as well, and many others. Paras, Anuj, Roshan, Vinod. Everyone is writing, so they are giving correct response.
Okay, so pale is also for old. And what about rosy? Rosy, Anjali ma'am, rosy is for what?
Rosy color of course symbolizes the young. वो एक देखिए और एक color होता है जो एक young के face पे, that is what rosy is for. So young.
Okay, absolutely. Energetic also, I think I'll put that in the tray there. And vivacious, a new word, I think. Some of you may know it. Vivacious. What is vivacious? What would it go for? किसके लिए ये? अंजलि मैम, क्या लगता है?
As we are asking the words, na children are only writing old and young, so वो थोड़ा सा ना confusion हो रहा है.
And moreover, actually, ma'am, I think yeah, they're able to categorize these words because all the words associated with young are being asked from Anjali, and all the words associated with old, yeah, referring those words to me. So maybe they are getting hints.
Okay. So हमें टेक्निक बदल लेनी चाहिए, right अंजलि? Van. Okay, अंजलि. हमारे बच्चे देखिए बहुत स्मार्ट हैं, so that I have to give to them, that they are there on their toes all the time and they keep us on our toes. So I absolutely love these classes. So I think a big round of applause for our students. Very good. Glowed is for young, and sprinting is also for young. Sprinting, a new word. What do you think? Nandini ma'am, क्या लगता है? Sprinting.
Sprinting, obviously, something which is very, very fast, and it is mostly used with the sprinters. That is a bullet, which is the speed of a bullet. So something which is very fast, running very fast. So we use this word sprinting for that.
Usain Bolt.
Yes, Usain Bolt. Yes, I've used the word hobbled from a previous lesson of your students. Do you remember the first lesson from class 11, Portrait of a Lady? So the old grandmother, she used to hobble around, and frail is also for old, and of course wrinkled is also from the same lesson. So wise, that is one word that I've taken, which in our we generally associate wisdom with the old, but that does not mean that the young are not wise. But yes, so
Experience.
let's have a look at the poem, My Mother at 66, Kamla Das.
So, My Mother at 66 by Kamla Das. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was old as she looked, but soon put that thought away. So she is thinking about her mother. Her mother is right next to her, and she is looking at her face. And looked out because mother का face थोड़ा old लग रहा है. Then just to evade that thought, she looked out at the young trees sprinting, their merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan, pale, as late as a winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile, smile, and smile.
Thank you, Anjali ma'am. Thank you. I'm sure our students appreciated the poem, but let's go over it line by line and see, what do they understand. So the first line itself says, driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning. So who is driving? Students, I'm sure you are typing in the chat box. This is for you. Who is driving? Anjali ma'am, what do you
Yes,
think?
they're saying my, and Kamala Das is writing it. So, yes, the poetess Kamala Das is driving.
Yes, and because we also said that her poetry has a strong confessional or element. So generally she writes from her own experience. So the poet is driving, and where is she driving from, and where is she driving to?
This one is quite clear. So ये अपने आप आ जाना चाहिए chat box में. So by the time you're writing मैं बता देती हूँ. Quite clearly it's written parents home to Cochin. अब parents home घर से, मम्मा के घर से she was driving to Cochin.
Right, and who is beside her? उनके साथ कौन बैठा है? अभी मैं पहले से ही जो है next question डाल दे रही हूँ so that the students can answer, because I know that there is a little lag between when we speak and when it reaches the students. So that's why I'm typing the questions first. So who is beside her? कौन है उनके साथ? Who
So
is
again,
dozing open mouthed? Huh?
वो clearly लिखा हुआ है I saw my mother beside me. So my mother, उनकी मम्मा उनके साथ थी. So her mother is beside her.
Okay, so probably both of them are there in the car. But what is the mother doing? What is the mother doing?
Probably she's tired and she's trying to take a nap, right? Dozed, open mouth, her face ashen like that. So yes, she's trying to take a nap.
Okay, and so that is something that the old people, they get tired easily. So she's fallen asleep, and her mouth is also open. So I mean, difficult situation for a child to see her mother in. So the helplessness is emphasized in this one. And what does she notice about her mother when she sees her in this situation?
So the word जैसे आपने अभी explain किया था ashen, her face ashen like that of a corpus. So जैसे एक dead body का face होता है pale colorless, वैसा कमला दास की mother का face उन्होंने notice किया.
So when we are awake and talking, there is a certain animation in our features. कुछ ना कुछ expression रहता है, तो so face का probably the real color does not show. But when she is asleep, she's actually able to notice so many things about her mother which she probably hadn't noticed when she was awake. And what does she realize, Anjali ma'am? What does she realize
She
about?
realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. तो जितना वो ओल्ड हैं वो उनको अच्छा नहीं लगा ये सोच के कि मेरी मम्मा जितनी बूढ़ी दिख रही हैं वो एक्चुअली में उतनी बूढ़ी हो गई हैं, राइट? द वन जिन्होंने हमेशा कमला दास की टेक केयर की, नाउ दैट पर्सन इज ग्रोइंग ओल्ड, so she is
And
realizing the pain.
yes, yes. And what thought does she want to put away? What thought does she want to put away?
that painful thought कि उनकी मम्मा का फेस एकदम पेल एशन लग रहा है और इनएनिमेट है और उनकी मम्मा उतनी बुरी हो गई हैं जितनी वो लग रहे हैं, बिकॉज ओल्ड एज के बाद कम्स एन इनएविटेबल थिंग. सो वो थॉट हमारी जो पोएट्स है कमला दास है वो उस थॉट को अपने माइंड से हटाना चाहती है.
Right. And this is a thought that that no one can bear even contemplate. हम सोचना भी नहीं चाहते हैं उस situation के बारे में. जब भी आती है, we are unprepared. So and that is the thought that she wants to put away. Do you notice anything special about the poem's writing style? अंजलि मैम कुछ खास लग रहा है इस poem में?
हाँ, ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग सा है. जैसे यूजुअली हम लोग पोएट्री पढ़ते हैं सो देयर इज राइम स्कीम और जो लाइंस की लेंथ होती है वो सेम ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर लेंथ होती है, सो वो थोड़ा राइमिंग आता है रीड करने में वो. बट दिस इज लाइक फ्री फ्लोइंग लग रहा है, कोई राइमिंग स्कीम नहीं है, कोई लेंथ सेम नहीं है. सो जैसा ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे वो सोच रही है और वो बस लिखते जा रही है.
Right. And कोई आप देखेंगे कि पूरी की पूरी पोएम में कोई फुल स्टॉप नहीं है. Even in the end, smile and smile, and there is dot 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 dot. So that, because why do you think that is? I think one of the reasons is that it's all there in the poet's mind. Doesn't really say anything. Of course, last May there is a phrase that she says, see you soon amma, but that is all. उसके अलावा कोई भी बात ऐसी नहीं है जो allowed बोली गई हो. So it's there in the thoughts, and thoughts में कभी full stop आता है क्या अंजलि मैम? कभी नहीं. हमारे thoughts तो एक के बाद एक चलते ही रहते हैं.
वो ऐसा कहते हैं ना कि वर्ल्ड की फास्टेस्ट चीज क्या है, सो वो ब्रेन के लिए बोलते हैं, बिकॉज वन इन अ सेकंड इट्स हियर, इन अ सेकंड इट्स एट अनदर प्लेस.
Right. So in our poem also, it's they all happening in her mind. So there is no full stop. It's just one continuous half sentence. I'm saying half sentence because there's no full stop. So now we saw that the poet looks out at the young trees. The poet looks out. So why is she looking out, Nandini ma'am? What does she do to distract herself? Because the thought of mothers, old age is so difficult to contemplate.
Exactly. And this is how what all of us do whenever there is some disturbing thought. We try to distract ourselves. Maybe we switch on the television, or maybe when we are at home, we may switch on the radio or FM channel, so that the thoughts are diverted and we try to distract ourselves. But in her case, because she's driving, and she's in a car, so she starts looking out of the window, out of the car.
And what does she see when she looks out of the car? क्या दिखाई देता है उसको?
It is a very common thing whenever we are traveling on a highway. We see trees on both sides of the road, and when we are driving, obviously we see trees. They are moving in the opposite direction. So that's what she is looking at. She sees all those trees like sprinting. You asked me the meaning of that sprinting. So it has come here. Sprinting is moving fast because the car is moving fast. Similarly, the trees are moving fast, but in opposite direction. So, and she again she sees merry children, because whenever we are traveling, we see there are homes alongside that road, and the children, they are moving out of their homes. They are very happy, and they're smiling, they are cheerful. So merry children, they're very happy in that sense. So that's what
yes ma'am. This whole image of the merry children spilling out of their homes. Yes, यहाँ पर homes की बात हो रही है, लेकिन मुझे हमेशा अपने स्कूल की जो छुट्टी होती है वो सीन याद आ जाता है. कि जैसे ही बेल बजती है and the gates open and the children they spill out, जैसे किसी ने मटर के दाने फैला दिए हो या कुछ something या chickpeas जैसे so they spread out because and they are so excited, they are so full of energy. So if you see the poet ने बिल्कुल एक common place scene जो हम अक्सर देखते हैं of trees moving backwards and children coming out of their homes, उसको भी एक image बना दिया है to contrast with the mother's old age. So Nandini ma'am, when she looks at all these pictures, is she successful in putting away the thought of mother's old age and mortality? And why is that?
No, not at all, because in the very second line, she starts comparing, and there is a contrast brought in when she starts comparing the very lively atmosphere outside the car and a very gloomy atmosphere inside the car. So she starts comparing both the things. That means she is not able to distract herself. She is trying to do, but she is not able to do. So that's what is quite visible in the next line.
Right. So, and what does she notice again when she looks at the mother from a distance? So, journey तो खत्म हो जाती है और they reach the airport. But airport पे वो फिर से दोबारा मुड़ के mother की तरफ देखती है. And what does she see again?
And she sees the mother in who's very old, and she looks at her. She sees worn, pale, as if like late winter's moon. So she is feeling that childhood fear and that familiar ache again.
Right, and you are absolutely right. Late winter's moon. क्या comparison लेकर आई है poet? Winter is the last season, of the year, and old age is the last stage of a person's life. And the winter's moon is wan and pale, no glow. So what we talked about, the rosy cheeks are not to be found, in the faces of the old. So. But what does she do? Does she tell her mother how she feels, how scared she is, how bad she is feeling?
No, not at all, because she doesn't want her mother to notice the fear she is facing that at that moment. She doesn't want her mother to get upset and to know that yes, the daughter is feeling that pain, or the daughter is worried about her. So even if she is worried, she doesn't want her mother to know about it.
Right, that's there, and she says, although in her heart there is so much turmoil that is going on, but apparently she only says, "See you soon, Amma." Right, and she smiles and smiles and smiles. Nandini ma'am, what do her words and her smile express? Uh, क्या express करते हैं वो?
uh, she is trying to comfort her mother. She is smiling. Maybe inside her, uh, she is feeling that pain, but she doesn't want her mother to know about that pain, and she is trying to hide those emotions. She's trying to hide those feelings, the feeling of fear, or that emotion of losing her mother, because she's quite old, and moreover now she's leaving her mother at this stage, which she doesn't want to. So she's smiling to comfort her mother, to tell her, look, everything is fine. And maybe Rajni, because you're a good singer, you can say a few lines regarding this.
नंदिनी मैम, ये इससे तो मुझे एक ही गाना याद आता है, सो आई ट्राई एंड अटेम्प्ट दैट, चिल्ड्रन डोंट लाफ एट मी, राइट? सो आई एम श्योर आप लोगों ने भी वो गजल की लाइन सुनी होगी। तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो, तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो, क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो, तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो. So she smiles, but that smile does not express.
Lovely voice and lovely words, and the way they are expressed. Look, this is the beauty of poetry. how we can make our students understand the meaning of something through maybe another language, but still it's wonderful that through this they're able to understand the deep thoughts involved in it. So lovely. Thank you, Rajni ma'am, for singing those lines.
Thank you, Nandini ma'am. So she smiled, and the smile hides so much pain, and all that pain is hidden behind that smile, because naturally she wants to comfort the mother, and आप उसको मालूम है कि मैं मदर के पास शायद बहुत दिन बाद दोबारा आएगी, so she does not want to show that crying face, and um, but smile and smile की हमने बात तो की. These are figures of speeches, and that is one thing that I want our students to understand, that हम जब भी poetry पढ़ा रहे हैं आपको figures of speech की बात कर रहे हैं, but why do the poets use the figures of speech? और क्या सिर्फ poets ही इसको use कर रहे हैं? Don't the prose writers do it? Yes, of course they do. And poets के लिए स्पेशली ये बात है कि वो बहुत थोड़े वर्ड्स में जो है एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग इमोशन एक्सप्रेस करना चाहते हैं. So the figures of speech are used to emphasize a certain point, और कुछ ऐसा जो है जहाँ वो attention draw करना चाहते हैं. It is there, that they use figures of speech. और I'm sure अब तक हम आपको इतनी बार figures of speech करा चुके हैं that you must have become quite masters. So आप तैयार हो जाइए. Here is your test. और देखते हैं. So the first one is personification. और personification है क्या? यानी जब हम किसी inanimate चीज को person like qualities की तरह person की तरह treat करते हैं, then that becomes personification. My students tell me that personification is one of the easiest. सबसे आसान figures of speech में से है, because जहाँ पर भी लगे कि हाँ ये person की तरह हम बात कर रहे हैं, then it becomes personification. So अंजलि मैम क्या लगता है, हमारे बच्चे जो है बता रहे हैं कि भाई which one is personification? हमारी ये poem के कुछ phrases और हमने साथ में दिए हैं. So students बताइए.
They're still into that mode of expressing their emotions that are evoked by a song as well as by the poem. So yes, hopefully they're going to write. Yes, they started writing, ma'am. Some of them are writing trees, printing. एक वो याद आ रहा है, the sky is crying. जब rain हो रही है, so when sky is crying, sky cannot cry. वो जो crying वाला एक वो human feature हमने sky को दे दिया. That is personification.
And Kashish is writing. Kashish Agarwal has given that the first one is simile. Kashish Agarwal, and Urvashi Agarwal has also given the answer, Jyoti Verma. So students have started giving a response to your match the columns, and they are giving correct responses as well.
Yes, thank you, Nandini ma'am. We can see that the chat box is running. Our students are active. So similarly, उन्होंने left hand side हमेशा की तरह left hand side से answer करना शुरू कर दिया. So I can see that so many answers are there. So similarly, students जैसे आप जानते हो, when you compare two things, दो चीज को compare कर रहे हैं, but there is also a comparison word, like. So her face ashen like that of a corpse. So that is a simile. But what about another one? इस poem में हमारी दो simile हैं. So दूसरी simile कौन सी है? So अंजलि मैम, क्या बच्चों ने कुछ जवाब दिया है इसका?
I can answer. Yes, ma'am. आ गया है already answer. To be.
Okay, absolutely. They are very quick. So then repetition. All I did was smile and smile and smile. So students, यहाँ पर specifically मैं बताना चाहूँगी कि हम alliteration की भी बात करते हैं और repetition की बात करते हैं. Alliteration is when only a sound is repeated, and जब पूरा word repeat हो रहा है, then it is repetition. And finally, ये तो answer वैसे ही बहुत easy है. Imagery. So Anjali ma'am, what do they say about imagery?
आंसर्स तो आ गए हैं, कुछ बच्चों ने बहुत पहले से दे दिए थे आंसर्स.
They are fast.
है हमारे पास. Yes, so image provoke हो रही है, so I guess उनको याद है पहले जो पढ़ाया था और अप्लाई भी कर पा रहे हैं.
और उनको ये भी याद है कि जब हम इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस डालते हैं, then that means it's time for them to answer. So बच्चों
वो देखिए पहले क्वेश्चन आते एकदम क्विज टाइम स्टार्ट हो गया था.
जी 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 so well done students, well done. And just to give a quick revision of the poem, I'm showing you an animation of the poem. We've taken it from YouTube, and we would like to thank the holder of rights because we have used it only for educational purposes and not for commercial ones. So okay, so some points that I would want all of you to think about. Nandini ma'am, how does the poet and the daughter feel? Do you think she's feeling guilty, and why? And what does that tell you about her bond with the
Yeah,
mother?
definitely the daughter is feeling sad, very sad, and there is a feeling of guilt as well because she doesn't want to leave her mother in at such a stage, but she has to. So there's a feeling of guilt as well.
Thank you, Nandini ma'am. So, I think for this we need to, question the mindsets also. I mean, old means lonely, and So, what do you think we can do, Anjali ma'am? Do you have, these are some of the ideas that are suggested by the youngsters only. What do you think they stand for?
Yes, the well basically when old जो हमारे elderly लोग हैं जब वो lonely feel करते हैं तो we should encourage them to be in the companies of the similar age, and they can enjoy such societies, for example going for a morning walk, yoga classes, evening walk, या ये सब चीज़ें या जो clubs होते हैं उनके laughter clubs वगैरह होते हैं वहाँ पे जा सकते हैं, they can spend their time, so वो थोड़ा एक अच्छा होगा. uh,
Right. Thank you, ma'am. So, society is for old, and there is this whole mindset against old age homes also. So, do you think they are so bad, Nandini, ma'am?
Not always. Times are changing now. These days we have very good old age homes that they call them as retirement homes, and people prefer those at old age with all uh, latest facilities and all. But still, a home is a home, I would say. And
That's there, of course. Family जब तक है देखभाल करने के लिए, then उससे better तो कुछ भी नहीं है. But is there a solution to the problem that is portrayed in the poem? I want to ask the students what would they do, and I was talking to them, and they only came up with certain suggestions that, uh, and the first one definitely is that express your love and care. In the poem also, if you notice, the daughter did not really tell her mother how much she loved her, और जनरली हम लोग वो चीज को अंदर होल्ड बैक कर लेते हैं. बट स्टूडेंट्स, आई वांट अभी, पहले मैं कहने वाली थी कि घर जाकर, बट आप ऑलरेडी घर पर हो, आफ्टर द क्लास जस्ट टेल योर पेरेंट्स हाउ मच यू केयर फॉर देम, हाउ मच यू लव देम. एंड नंदिनी मैम, व्हाट डू यू से अबाउट द रेस्ट ऑफ इट?
Yes, of course, we need to make some changes in the house. Like the house should be elderly friendly, and we, as you said, we can spend more time and with our parents. We can keep track of their health. if they are not with us, let us visit them quite often. And we need to be very careful about their medicines, because in old age, and you have shown a lovely picture of the box which can be maintained, so that you keep a track of their medicines, whether they are taking their medicines regularly or not, because this is very important at this age. And most of all, we need to have a lot of fun, so that they don't feel as if old age is taking a toll on them, so that they feel happy with their family.
Thank you, Nandini ma'am, and you are absolutely right that we need to, do all that, but have fun. That's very important. So just old should not mean sad. Just a little one.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Right. So one is never too old to be happy, and you have to make sure that you keep them happy. So, I'm giving you food for thought. Use your comment box to share your ideas about what you can do to bring joy in the lives of the elderly in your family or neighborhood. Write a letter to them, make a card for them. And finally, don't forget the homework. The Google form is there in the description box, and taking care of the elderly. Write an article based on today's lesson. It's time for me to say bye-bye. Bye-bye, students. Enjoy and take care and think about the things that we shared today. Thank you.